Hi everyone, Karen here from Holistic Essentials Therapy and Consulting, bringing to you this week's energy forecast and spiritual insights for Monday the 8th of March through to Sunday the 14th of March 2021. As we move into this week, there is a real sense of, and what's been coming up for me in the last week, is this whole notion of transformation. What does transformation really mean? Transformation means that you are stepping into the process of releasing the past, recognizing old thought patterns, recognizing old behaviors, recognizing trauma and hurts from the past that are no longer serving you now. In fact, they're like a ball and chain that are keeping you stuck in a cycle, a continuous cycle, but never really stepping forward out of that, never really moving beyond that old cycle. And so the energy of this month is really inviting us to do that in a way that is connected to your heart center. You know, what is your heart's desire? What is your heart's, how can you nurture your heart? How can you give to yourself love, tenderness, compassion, and nurturing? It is through that you are able to have a higher perspective on what is no longer serving you. Transformation is recognizing that and working to release that in ways that you can do on your own, perhaps through a spiritual teacher or a book or a course, or if it's something that you don't feel that you can handle on your own, then it's important to be seeking support from outside of yourself, whether that's friends that you can trust, whether that's seeking the support and assistance of a therapist or a healing practitioner, a coach or a mentor. Allow your intuition to guide you to who you feel energetically drawn to support you at this time. And as we move into this week, we also have the new moon in Pisces on the 13th of March at 9:21 p.m. in the Southern Hemisphere. Piscean energy is very sensitive, deeply feeling of emotions, and highly intuitive. And again, the invitation with this new moon, with the energy of Venus and Neptune very close as well, we are having the opportunity and being under the energy of heart activation, heart chakra activation. And this is a powerful time to manifest, to be creative, to tap into your intuition, and to raise your consciousness, to step into that higher consciousness. For many, this has been an exhausting time. Many of you perhaps are just feeling like you don't have energy left to cope with anything else that is put on your plate. And this is why it's so important that we're listening to the needs of our bodies. If you are needing to rest, then rest. If you are feeling a deep level of exhaustion, then checking in with your heart and what is it that you are needing for support in this moment. Perhaps it's a healing session that will support you with a healing practitioner. Perhaps it's taking time out to do something that you enjoy, that fills you up with a sense of lightness, because we are moving into, as we move further into the month of March, there is a sense of a lighter energy. There is a sense that we are coming out of the dark. And many of you are perhaps feeling more purposeful and joyful at this time, and that's a wonderful thing. Embrace that. Really allow yourself to step fully into that And let's not feel guilty that we feel that way when others don't. This is where, having learnt that I have the advocate rescuer archetype, you know, the advocate rescuer, she has a beautiful, big, empathic heart, compassion for so many people, wanting others to feel happiness and to be in a place of well-being. She's so empathic that she feels everyone else's pain and then shifts into the gear of, I need to fix this or help this person. And so be mindful this month, if you are feeling that way, of, are you being asked to give your advice, to give your help and support? You can certainly ask people if they would like it, and then trust that if they say no, it's not a reflection of you. It's merely that they are not ready to receive that in this moment. Sometimes we have to process what we're going through on a cellular level and in our bodies to be able to then be ready to receive help or ask for help. Yes, definitely. Always ask somebody if they want your support and help. Absolutely. But the message is, don't take it personally if they're not ready to accept that or just simply don't want it. They want to do it on their own. The way that you can help people is to connect into your heart chakra and literally be the change you want to see in the world. You are the ripple effect in the pond. Be the ripple effect rather than the controller of changing something. Change something within you that you see or sense outside of yourself that you don't feel is working. By coming back to your breath, by aligning to your heart through compassion, through love and acceptance, non-judgment, accepting people where they're at and not wanting them to be different. Just focusing that attention on yourself in your heart. It doesn't mean that you don't care about the well-being of others. Be the love in their presence. If you're in the presence of somebody else and you can feel intuitively that they're in pain, you breathe for them. You be love for yourself. And that on a cellular level will ripple out to them. And if they're ready to receive it, they will. Often we can take it so personally when we provide a solution to somebody and they don't take it. Yet, what I have come to know is they have to want to receive that. They have to want to create significant change in their lives. And sometimes the beauty of our human experience is actually discovering the solution for ourselves. That is more empowering. That is going to enable somebody else to grow and expand, to reach a higher level of consciousness. If they're discovering the right path for themselves, it will mean more. We live in a society where we don't appreciate what we receive for free. Many of us, and many of you, perhaps have the belief also that in order to be worthy of what it is that you're wanting to receive, you may perhaps be conditioned that you have to go through particular steps, which is actually just a belief that can be released through theta healing. But not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone wants to access that. So, understand and appreciate that everyone has their own time in their life where awakening and transformation is going to happen, and it's the perfect time for them. Your focus is to concentrate on your personal transformation, on your personal awakening. And believe me, this is something that I had to learn the hard way. So what I would do is if I was in a situation where there was a conversation, I would say to my beautiful guides in the beautiful universe, if I am meant to contribute or say something or pass on a piece of information, thank you for opening up the conversation and the invitation. And then, if the other person specifically asked directly for advice, support, or an opinion, or whatever, or a view, then and only then would I give that. Because then I knew they were actually ready on a subconscious level, on a heart and a soul level to receive that information. And remember too, you're planting the seed. And you may plant many seeds before that person is ready to hear it on a physical level, whereas the seeds are being planted at a heart and soul level. And when they're ready to receive it, they may hear it from somewhere else or through something else. That's okay. Never underestimate your influence when you're not intentionally trying to influence. You have more power within you to create change by walking your talk, living your truth, and people will be drawn to you. They will want to know what it is that you're doing. They'll want to know what has changed in you. And when they ask you, then share it. And then allow them to just go along their way, because it may take some time before they then come to you and say, well, how are you doing that? What are you doing? Can you share it with me? And that's where significant transformation and change will take place. We are all transforming at a much higher level of consciousness right now at this time on the planet. So if you are feeling more peaceful and purposeful than ever before, embrace that. That's great. You are allowed to experience freedom and joy and happiness, as is everyone, when everyone is ready to do the same. So I hope that serves you well. I've been guided to do, as always, the theta download. So let's see what comes through. So placing your hand on your heart center, and in doing so, you're activating your heart chakra. Would you like to know what it feels like to have the Creator's highest definition, perspective, and understanding of joy? That you know it is possible to be joyful and feel joy. That you know how and when to feel and be joy in your life, in all areas of your life. And that you are worthy of experiencing joy, and that you are impervious to others' opinions of your joyful state, and that you know how to have discernment around being in the presence of others who don't feel joyful, that you know how to live without guilt in feeling joy and happiness and having fun. Would you like to know that it is possible for you to have fun, that you know how and when to have fun, and that you know how and when to have fun in a childlike way, that you know how to express yourself joyfully, that you know how to embrace a sense of feeling of joy and fun and happiness, and that you know that it is your birthright to experience joy, and that you know how and when to be present in the moment, that you know it is possible to be present, and you know how to live in the present in all areas of your life. Say yes to receive. Take a deep breath in. All right. So for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Almoira, say it right, Karen. Awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. I love the attention, the gem at the third eye. Almoira is all about awakening. He was a beautiful human being who lived a human life, and through the actions of his life was ascended to ascended master state. And what he's really inviting you to do this week is to remember that you are not walking this path alone, that you have access to the support and the love of your beautiful guardian angels, your guides, your loved ones in spirit, and the unconditional love of the universe. He's also reminding you that you don't have to do it all alone, and that it's okay to reach out and tell somebody else that you're struggling. It's okay to ask for help. And it is through the asking of help and support that change, transformation, and freedom can come from. The real strength and the real empowerment is knowing when to ask for help. That's help from the higher realms, that's help from your friends, that's help from a practitioner or a professional, which is still a professional. And remembering that you don't have to take on the pain and suffering of everyone around you. You can still be a support. You can still be a loving presence. You can still have empathy for the plight of others. There is a big difference between feeling empathic and empathy for the pain and suffering of somebody else. It does not serve you or them for you to then take that pain on as though it's your own, because it's not. What you can do is you can say, thank you, universe. Thank you, angels, for providing this person with the support, the love, and the strength that they need to move through this situation in love and protection. He's really bringing in a strong message to recognize the line between what is yours and what is somebody else's. And this is where that cloak of protection comes from also. So if you are feeling, especially as we move into the sensitive Pisces new moon, if you are feeling the emotions of everybody else, thank you, universe, thank you, angels, for releasing from me the emotions and feelings and pain that does not belong to me. And thank you for sending it to the universal heart of all that is to be healed and transmuted. And so it is. Thursday and Friday, Horus, Cosmic Gateway. And of course, you know, there's beautiful energies coming in towards this new moon. We have the energy of Venus and Neptune as well. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So with this new moon and the alignment of Venus and Neptune, we are moving into a powerful time to manifest, to dream, to explore our intuition, and to tap into that higher consciousness. And so the message is really to remind you we are powerful creators, both in the negative and the positive. So focusing your attention on what you do want more of in your life will magnetize that, will attract more of that to you. Sometimes we feel that if everyone else is around us is not happy or suffering, that we have to as well, that there's this guilt around. And can we just release from you the guilt? Can we teach you that you know what it feels like to live without guilt? That you know it is possible to live without the guilt of being happy in the presence of others who are not? And can we teach you also that you have the Creator's highest definition, perspective, and understanding of living in your own power, that you know it is possible to stay in your own power, to maintain your own momentum and your own awakening in all areas of your life through the eyes of the Creator, and standing strong and grounded in that. Can we teach you this? Say yes to receive. Take a deep breath in. Saturday and Sunday, Mother Mary, she's so beautiful. Love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace, and mother healing is possible at this time. Let go of the need to be right is really what's coming through very strongly from this beautiful card and this beautiful Mary essence. Mary brings us the message of forgiveness. Mary brings us the message of transcending the feeling of being wronged, of recognizing that when we release the need to be right, we're releasing the suffering on a collective soul level. Because the need to be right is ego-driven. The need to be right is so that you can in some way feel more powerful over somebody else. Now, this doesn't mean that you may not be right. You may very well be. But the need to point that out to somebody else, especially when we can recognize that they're in ego and they're not in their higher consciousness, they're not in their heart space, then all we are doing in that moment is anchoring more of that behavior in that person. So where are you drawing your power from? Because in that moment, you're wanting to take your power from somebody else by proving you're right. Whereas you have access to infinite power from the beautiful energy of the unconditional love of the divine, all that is, the creator of all that is, from our incredibly expansive consciousness of Mother Earth. Ask yourself why. What is proving my rightness going to achieve in this moment? Now, this does not mean, let's use common sense here. If somebody is being abused and mistreated and their safety is at risk, absolutely you should take action. We should be taking action on things that aren't actually serving the well-being of the planet, the well-being of mankind. But how are you taking that action? Are you coming from a place of fear? Are you coming from a place of anger? Are you coming from a place of powerlessness and frustration? Because that is the same energy that has created the situation in the first place. And Albert Einstein is the first one to say that you cannot change a situation using the same energy that created it. It's almost like choosing your battles. What is it that you are fighting for? And is that coming from a place of feeling centered, aligned, empowered, and having that feeling of, I'm in the flow right now, this is the space that I'm meant to be in? Mother Mary is really bringing through the message that it is through love, peace, and harmony that the greatest significant change will occur, not only in you, but throughout the collective consciousness of all of humanity on this planet. And that is the overlying message for the month of March also, is joy, love, happiness, peace, and contentment. So be the change you wish to see in the world, and come from that energy space. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to the right action to take in this moment. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to the right people to align with at this time in my life. Thank you, universe, for showing me how you would see this, revealing to me how you would see this. How would you have me see this? How would you have me respond? How would you have me take action? And then come back to that heart space and allow the mind to quieten, to settle into that feeling. Be the feeling, embody the feeling that you are wanting to create externally in others around you. So I hope that those messages serve you well. As always, please be kind and gentle with yourself and everyone around you. You are more powerful than you know, and your actions have more of a flow-on effect than you could possibly know. Namaste, blessed be, so much love to you all. See you next week. Bye.